Okay, yeah, I must be crazy. My challenge is one video a day for the next 30 days. No excuses and no script. Let's do this. So what do you think? I think we can do it. We're going to be using some very specific tools today. We're going to be using Apify. We're going to be using make.com with a little sprinkling of Google Sheets. So let's jump right in and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so let's get into our first one here. And I wanted to make sure it wasn't too difficult. We're going to start off with baby steps. I've got 30 days to do this. So let's hop in and look at our first problem. First off, the problem that we have is that we need to find a job. This is a big priority and it's a big pain in the butt, but we got to make it easy for us to do. So we're going to kind of automate it here. So we're going to look for a job. We're going to find a tool to scrape for jobs. We're going to build an automation to look for the jobs daily. And this is kind of neat. We're going to craft customized cover letters when applying for those jobs. After that, we're going to save all this information into Google Sheets. And then we're going to have it automatically run daily for us so we can just kind of sit back and look at the results and concentrate on what we really need to do applying for jobs. All right, we have the plan. Let's get into it. So first off, we're going to go to Apify and we're going to look for an actor that's going to help us with this. And my preferred job search area would be Indeed. There's also LinkedIn. You can do that here, but for our purposes today, we're just going to do Indeed. And as you can see here, this is the Apify actor. You can find your actors by looking under actors under the store, and you can search for different actors. This is the Indeed scraper. And we're going to get into some key things that we want searched. So when I was using this particular one, I'm a safety professional along with automation. So I chose safety. Where did I want to look? I want to look in Canada. And I want about 20 results per run, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to actually go into Indeed, look for safety jobs in Canada, and produce some results for us. This is the form we fill out, and we can kind of get a JSON formula here when you're looking at it to have all of that information. As you can see, Canada here, keyword safety, position, and then returning 20 results. Well, let's jump over to Make. As we can see, we can title this Indeed job scraper here, and we'll open up the first Apify module. We want to connect to Make as our first thing here. The next things we want to do is we want to pull up the particular actor, and that actor that we used is Indeed scraper. I wanted to run before it was finished because I wanted to return the proper data. Oftentimes when you don't run the whole module, then it returns incomplete data and it breaks the whole line. So I wanted it to run through, and that's what you'll see right here. Our inputs. We just wanted to take that JSON here from previous over to Make, and we wanted to copy those in. And that's how we're going to get the results that we want. And then the rest of it, we just leave blank. All right. So that's great. We've got that actor. We want to run it. But then after we run it, we want to make sure that we pull some data from it. All right. So what you're going to see here when you open it up is you're going to see some information here. A whole bunch of information actually in the output. And it's in the form of data. It's not really good to us right now, so we want to make sure that we can grab that out of Apify. And you're looking at the default data set ID. So each portion of data or bundle of data is going to be within this data set ID. And we can take that over to our next module. So the next module here is actually going to pull some information from that result. And we open up another Apify Make module. And we use the data set ID as the where we want to pull the information from. A clean transformation. And we want to format that into JSON. And you'll see why in a bit here. Limit is 1. Just for this particular job, I wanted to pull 1. I usually have it set at 20 or something like that. But it does take a longer time to run. And for today's purposes, just to give you an example, I wanted to set it right at 1. All right, so after we run the second module here, we're going to get some more. Actually, we're going to get the data from the first one, but it's going to be more specific. The output is much more clear to the information that we wanted. And you can see that located right in here. So pretty neat, hey? Position names, preventative maintenance account manager. The company is Troy Life and Fire Safety Limited. Interesting that we put safety jobs. So it did pull the title safety out of this job, not necessarily that it is a safety job. But the location is in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Even a rating on the actual company, where the job is located at. How long ago was it posted? and so on and so on. I think there's a bit of a description here for the company, qualifications, what we offer. It's pulling everything. It's really good. All right, perfect, good. And that's our result from the data that we pulled out from Apify. Let's go on. So now the exciting part, and ChatGPT is one of my passion projects. I love using it. Use it on a daily basis for multiple things, and it's really interesting with the stuff that you can do. Right on, let's open it up and take a look. So we want to connect to our OpenAI module. And for those that you don't know, you can run ChatGPT two ways. You can actually pay for a monthly subscription, as a lot of people do, and they open it up and say, hey, I want you to do this. Or you can go into their OpenAI, their OpenAI API website. Take a look. It's really cool. You can sign up for your API. You can get an API code, and then every time you want to do any of the jobs or tasks within ChatGPT, you can run it through those modules, or that playground, if you will, and you're only being charged per pull from your API. So it ends up being sometimes a little bit cheaper if you don't use it that often, and you can get really specific with the results that you want, creating assistants and so on and so on. But that's for another video. We'll review that later. For this particular one, we're going to connect to my OpenAI API. We're going to create a chat completion here, and I usually suggest to use the latest model, which is GPT-4. This first one right here, we're going to send a system message. And for those of you that aren't aware of the different messages that you can send to ChatGPT, again, this is where we get into it a little more. There's three that you can send. There's a system, there's a user, and there's an assistant. So the first one we're going to do here is we're going to do a system message. And basically what that is, it's telling ChatGPT what you want it to be. Hey, I want you to be a cover letter writer. I want you to be an accountant. I want you to be a health coach. I want you to be really anything that I want you to be. You're letting it know what its role is in this particular instance. And for this one, it's you are a professional cover letter writer. Second is user. So right now you're giving it information from me, what you want it to do. And I'm saying use the information from description. Wait a second. What is the description? Well, let's go back here and pull what we see over here, and we're going to go down to description, and wow, okay, cool. That was that long description about the position and Troy Life and Safety. Yeah, that's the description. Okay, cool. Well, let's pull that information. Let's go back here. Let it load up again. Let's pull that information and parse. Okay, so what we mean by parsing is pulling specific information from that long string of text, parse the relevant information to match with my experience, and format the cover letter that is provided below. All right, well, that's specifically in my experience. I don't want it to make up a whole bunch of information. I want it to pull specifically from my experience. Use the information from my resume as well, which is provided below. Only refer to my actual experience. Important. If you don't put that in, it's going to take a look at the description, and it's going to make you sound like a Superman. It's going to make you sound like you match for everything, but it may not be true. So you need to actually put in there, please pull it from my actual information. Let's go down a little bit here. All right. User message again, and I'm providing my cover letter. This is an example of a cover letter that I wanted to use to write for that particular position. These are my skills that I have, and that's what the information that I want you to pull from. And that's what it's going to look at. And then some more information. Below here is another user prompt, letting it know what my resume is. So it's going to actually take a look at the cover letter format that I wanted. It's going to take a look at the resume, and it's going to pull out the exact information that's going to help me match for this job. And it's going to write me a custom cover letter, as we're going to see down the road here. Pretty neat stuff. There we go. Lots of information. Still going to pull the information. Sometimes ChatGPT will give you some information that you don't want, and I put another user message in here saying, just provide only the cover letter without any other comments. That's really just what I want. Through it. And specifically I said, hey, do not include any false information, just so it really knows that, no, I just want you to put exactly what my experience is in that cover letter. And yeah, and that is that one for ChatGPT. All right, let's take a look at the results that it came up with. We'll go over to here, go to output, and Wow, great. It'll have my name, my email address, where I'm at, the date, who it's to, formatted really nice. I'm writing to express my interest in the preventative maintenance account manager sales representative position at Troy Life and Fire Safety. With my strong sales background and demonstrated ability to establish and maintain a customer relationship, I am excited about the opportunity to contribute to your success, your team's success in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Really nice. I'm going to pull out a little bit of my experience, some more of my experience, and it's also going to say what I'm particularly drawn to for this job. Excellent tool. Perfect. So now that we have that information, we want to do something with it. We don't want to have to come in here all the time and pull the results from Make. We want to send it over to someplace. What we're going to do right now is we're going to open up a Google Sheet connection, look through it here. We're going to search by path. We're going to connect to my Google Drive. We're going to pull up Indeed and LinkedIn job spreadsheet and Sheet 1. So if you take a look here, we're going to go over to Sheet 1. And here it is right here. A little big to view right now. We'll take the zoom down a little bit. Go 90%. Perfect. We opened up this Google Sheets, and what I added was I added position name, salary, job type, the internal URL of the job, so that's of Indeed, and then the external. So a lot of times they'll want you to go to an external site to apply for the job. This is why it's important to have the external URL. And then I also put a cover letter heading here too, and you'll see the reason why. Okay, we'll go back to Make here, and we'll go down. There's two different options here for this particular line. Table contains headers, yes or no, right? So you're just letting it know that you've already put headers in there. For this particular one, we're going to go yes, and the values. So we want to do position name, salary, job type, location, description, company info URL, and then finally the result from ChatGPT. And that's going to be that cover letter that's going to be put into that final column. Let's take a look to see what happens. We'll go over to Google Sheets here again. We're going to go down to the last one that we did on the sheet. All right, go down to the last one here. So you'll see that it says in the first column here, preventative maintenance account manager. It's a full-time job. Here's the full description of the job. What I really wanted to show you was the cover letter. Okay, so why did we do all this stuff? Well, very simply, we just wanted to become automation rock stars, right? Well, a little bit of that, but also to have the information listed in a Google Sheets, nice and organized. We have the perfect cover letter, perfect formatted cover letter for that job to send off to the employer, and we're going to get the job. After that, you can become a rock star, and you can share that automation with your friends and family. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look down in the description, and there's going to be a link to Make, and there's going to be a link to Apify, and you're going to want to you're going to want to sign up for those and get on the automation train. The next thing you want to do is you're going to want to join our makers group in school with Nick Sarev and this excellent automation community. Nick is one of the world's leading automation specialists, right? And he's just a great down-to-earth fellow to learn from. The last thing to do here is just do the YouTube thing. I would like you to, if you could, subscribe, to like the video, to leave a little bit of comment to what we're doing and how we're doing it. It helps us out on the channel. And you know what, guys? We are now 1 day down, 29 to go, and we can do this. Thanks a lot for watching the video, and hope to see you soon. Take care.